Okay, so I wanted to make a quick video about Halloween Ends. I know it came out, months ago, but I just been thinking about it, about how bad this movie is. I recently just watched Christine, which isn't a perfect movie, but I'd say a good movie. And this movie, I mean, it just totally is, I guess, referencing Christine, to be fair. I mean, to be generous, but I mean, in many ways, I think it just rips it off, and it's just not a good movie. I mean, if you're gonna copy a movie, at least be a good movie. Have likable characters, be interesting, have, I don't know, Michael Myers in it for a good amount of time. So, anyways, so it's almost like a bad Christine. It's so weird. So Corey, who is this guy right here, but I'll show his picture in a minute. So Corey works in a garage, is a mechanic. The main character of Christine, Arnie, works in a garage, is a mechanic. Now Arnie, it's a little different because he is just kind of interested in cars, but then he gets his car and then he parks it in basically a garage that's also like a junk. They have acres of cars that you can go and take parts from, but he basically is a mechanic. Corey gets a new vehicle and Halloween Ends, but it's a motorcycle. Arnie also gets a new vehicle, which is a classic car, which then possesses him. And then Corey gets possessed by Michael, just like Arnie gets possessed by his car. Similar. And then, after the possession, both become the bad boy that Laurie Strode's granddaughter cannot just, keep her hands off of. She just loves him so much. And it's kind of hilarious. So Corey becomes the bad boy. And then, just like Arnie, when he gets possessed, he becomes the bad boy. And then Corey attracts a new love, Laurie Strode's granddaughter. And Arnie attracts a new love when he becomes the bad boy. And the new love is a little too dangerous. It's a little too out there. So they break up. Now, I will give Halloween Ends this. It's a little more developed than in Christine. But I would say another influence on this movie is Twilight for Halloween Ends. So I think that's why. So anyways, they break up. Corey then starts to go on a killing spree. Arnie and Christine also goes on a killing spree to go after those who have done him wrong. Corey has problems with his weird mother, which is the whole. There's this weird thing with the mother. The mother's very weird, and she like kisses him, and I don't know. It's very strange choices in this movie. Halloween Ends. It's just I found it creepy. Arnie and Christine butts heads with his mother and father, and actually threatens to fight his father. So it's a little different, but similar. And then they both end up to a tragic end. So this is just stuff I've just been thinking of. I bet there's way more similarities if you really break it all down. So, anyways, those are some of the similarities. And, you go, well, that's kind of interesting. But this is the end of a trilogy of three Halloween movies plus the 70s movie. So, this is the fourth movie. And, the 2018 one I liked. Didn't think it was amazing, but I liked it. Um, Halloween Kills. I mean, I thought it was okay, not as good as 2018, and obviously the original by John Carpenter is better than all of these. I mean, obviously, and but Halloween Kills, fun movie, not amazing. Kind of some stupid things going on in the movie. But overall, I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, let's see how they end this trilogy. And they ended it, I mean, in the stupidest way. And, some people are like, oh, it's gutsy, and that's great. And yeah, but it's like, Michael is barely in this movie. I mean, barely in it. I mean, in many ways, is this the worst Halloween movie ever made? I'm not sure. I think it may be. Because, I mean, the Rob Zombie movies have their problems, but Michael's in both. So, anyways, this movie has, a lot of weird things in it. Like, Corey is bullied by the band people. It's like, what is that about? Like, why is it the band people that like are the bullies in this town? It just seems very odd. I don't know. What do I know? I'm not in high school, but when I was in high school, that's not how it was, and I don't know. Maybe that's how it is now. I don't know, but they just love to bully him, and it's very strange. And then he goes after them, of course. And, obviously this is spoilers. Movie's been out for, like, 6 months. I mean, full spoilers, obviously. So, so, at first when I was watching this movie, it opens, and it opens with Corey babysitting this kid. And this kid is a little brat. He's a little shit, and he's like taunting Corey, kind of saying like, Michael's gonna get you, and all this stuff. And then Corey goes to get a drink, and then the little kid goes and runs away and hides from him. And Corey was even. I'll even give Corey this. He's even nice enough to be like, okay, um, he put on the thing, which it's a nod to John Carpenter. I mean, obviously it's like this movie has not there's nothing original about this movie at all, but I was like, oh cool, it's a thing, not John Carpenter. I love the thing. It's maybe my favorite horror movie of all time, maybe. But anyways, so the kid runs away and is hiding, and Corey goes and tries to find him. He gets locked in the attic. It's like the third story, and then he starts freaking out, and he's in there for like 20 seconds. He's kicking the door, kicks the door open, hits the kid, and somehow the kid goes over the railing, which is like, a good 3 feet taller than the kid. I don't even know how that happens, but okay. Kid goes flying down, hits the ground right when his parents come home. A little convenient that they actually see the kid die. So tragic, horrible stuff. So at first I was like, okay, it's kind of interesting. You're opening a movie this way. I was like, where's Michael? But okay. Give it some cred there. A little ballsy to do that. So it's mentioned later in the movie that they investigated. The police, they don't blame him for the murder or for the accidental death. It's just tragic. Which, makes sense. Because I guess they could piece that together. You would hope so. So, So then he cuts his hand, he goes to the hospital, and this is when he begins to meet the granddaughter of Laurie Strode. And she just instantly is attracted to him. And it's like, I just don't understand why. He's a weird looking guy. I mean, no offense to him, but I mean, come on. It's like she's like incredibly attractive. You know, I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. But it's just, this is a very strange movie. And they're like flirting, and you know, they go out on a date or two, and then they're out on a date at a party, Halloween party, and guess who's there? The mother of the kid, which was killed by accident by him. So she's all angry at him, and she's all drunk, and it seems like she's turned into a raging alcoholic, and her life's ruined. So she's all angry, and then he flips out, and he leaves the party. He leaves Laurie. He leaves Laurie Strode's granddaughter, and then he gets bullied by the band people. And earlier they were bullying him. They wanted him to buy him beer. He wouldn't buy him beer, so they crushed like a Yoo-hoo bottle in his hand, and it cut his hand, and that's why he went to go see Laurie Strode's granddaughter to fix his hand. So he sees him again. They bully him, and they push him over a bridge, and he falls down. And then a hand comes out of the sewer, grabs him, pulls him in, and guess who it is? Our good old friend Michael Myers. So Michael Myers, after killing who knows how many people, including firefighters, he at least attacked a police officer. I mean, he attacked Will Patton, and he was injured. And by the way, he's barely in this movie. I mean, why? The choices in this movie are just bizarre. You got Will Patton, who's a great actor, who's been in tons of movies. I mean, a well-seasoned, great actor. And he kind of has a thing with Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, why not have him in the movie? You know? And then have him kind of fighting Michael, and with Jamie, and with Allison, the granddaughter. Andy Machak. Something. I don't know. I don't pronounce it, but... Okay, anyways, just a bad choice. But, okay, so he goes in there. And then this is basically, Michael, like, demon possesses him. So, and this movie's also ripping off some other Halloween movies, but, you know, I think it's Halloween 4, I think. Where basically Michael is transferring his beaten evilness to another person, which happens in that movie. I believe it's 4. And, you know, to a little girl, but then they kind of abandon it in, like, the next movie. But, that's a better movie than this one. Better Halloween movie, at least. So he transfers his evilness to him, and then he leaves, and you know, he kind of goes on another date with her, and this cop gets pissed at them because he likes the granddaughter, and then the cop follows Corey around, takes him back to Michael Myers, and they both kill the cop. And they kind of go on a killing spree, and they kill some people, and you know, a few of those scenes are okay. They're well done, well shot, but overall, just this is a huge disappointment of a movie, of an end to a decent trilogy. I mean, at least the first 2 movies. The third one's just terrible, just terrible. And then you know, and then there's a bunch of other weird stuff. Like, there's a lady who was attacked in Halloween Kills by, like, a light bulb, and he stuck it in her neck. And it's like, she's alive, which is no way. You'd be dead. It totally would hit the artery. I mean, come on. Do bleed out so quickly. It's just... So she's alive, which is just stupid. But she blames Laurie Strode for Michael Myers. She says, oh, you bullied him. She didn't even know him. They're not even related. Doesn't even make any sense. Did they even watch their own movie? Did they watch the 78 movie? And then Corey just kills himself at the end. He just sticks a knife in his neck. And it's just bizarre. Michael's barely in the movie. He's barely in the movie. And the end fight is lame with Laurie, the granddaughter, and Michael. It's lame. It's short. I mean, they like pin him to a table and then they slit his wrist, and it's just bizarre. Like, the choices. At least have a good end fight. No. We don't get that. And yeah, Corey just kills himself by sticking a knife in his neck. It's like, I like laughed out loud when that happened. And then there's this, and then after they kill him, they parade his body through the street. Like, it's this big parade, and they put him on the top of a car, and just so weird. They put him on top of a car, and then all these people come out of their houses. Like, they all got the memo to come out that now Michael's dead. Time to come out. What is that? It's like midnight. And then they throw him in a car, like basically a car impact, like destroyer. I think it's industrial. I think it's made to destroy cars. So is that like a nod to Christine also? And then all the romance stuff is very Twilight to me. Very strange. Copy Twilight also. What are these people thinking? It's almost like, did they implode it on purpose for some reason? I don't really get it. It made less money than before. Anyways, terrible movie. Terrible movie.